So, let's start. Fluency. Fluency refers to the ability to speak or write a language easily and smoothly. It is the quality of being able to express oneself in a language without hesitation, difficulty, or interruption. Fluency in a language means having a good command of grammar, vocabulary, and idiomatic expressions, as well as the ability to use these elements appropriately and effectively in communication. A fluent speaker is able to convey their thoughts, ideas, and feelings in a natural, effortless, and coherent way, without having to stop and think about grammar or vocabulary. They can also understand spoken and written language well. They can adjust their language used to different situations and audiences. It's important to note that fluency is not a fixed state, and it can vary depending on the context, topic, or the speaker's interlocutor. It also may also vary depending on the language skills such as reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Therefore, fluency is an ongoing process of development and improvement, and it can be achieved through continuous practice and exposure to the language. So, how can we become a good speaker? Let's go. There are several things you can do to become a good speaker. The most important one, maybe, practice. The more you speak, the more comfortable and confident you will become. This can be done through conversation with native speakers, giving presentations, or joining a public speaking group. Preparing materials. Make sure you understand the topic or material you will be able to speak about and organize your thoughts in a logic and clear manner. Speak at a moderate pace and clearly enunciate your words to make it easier for your audience to understand you. It means you should speak clearly and enunciate. Use body language. Use appropriate gestures and facial expressions to emphasize your points and to help engage your audience. Listen to other speakers and pay attention to their techniques, and then try to incorporate those techniques into your own speaking but not copy. Be yourself. Speak your own unique words and don't try to copy the speaking styles of others. Be engaged with audience. Engage with the audience and make them feel comfortable. Try to be interactive, ask questions and wait for the answers. And be open to feedback. You should listen to feedback from others and use it to improve your speaking skills. Remember that being a good speaker also means being able to connect with the audience and adapt to the audience's needs and interests. It's also important to note that becoming a good speaker takes time and practice. It's a process that requires a continuous effort and self evolution. But what is coherency? Always I repeat it for many times. Coherency, coherency. Let's talk about coherency. Coherence refers to the quality of being logically and functionally connected, consistent, and orderly. In terms of language, coherence refers to the connection and flow of ideas in a piece of writing or speech. A coherent text or speech is one in which ideas are clearly presented and are logically connected to each other. It means that the sentences and paragraphs within a text or speech are related to each other and they work together to convey a clear and consistent message. A cohesive text is one where the sentences are connected by use of appropriate linking words, pronouns, and other grammatical devices. In summary, coherence is the quality of being clear, consistent, and logic in thought, ideas, or expressions. It is the ability of listener or reader to understand the message being conveyed and to follow the progression of ideas. To sum up, there are several steps you can take to improve your English fluency. First, immerse yourself in the language. Watch English language movies, television shows, and videos. Listen to English language music and podcasts. And read English language books, articles, and news. Practice speaking. Find a conversation partner, join a conversation group, or take an English class to practice speaking and improve your pronunciation. Learn English grammar and vocabulary. Study English grammar and vocabulary regularly and practice using new words and grammar structures in your speaking and writing as well. You should check your speaking and writing always via using some kind of websites on the internet, and then practice reading. Practicing reading is the most important part of learning speaking. So you can focus on the pronunciation, punctuation, and information. For this, you can use podcasts or some audio book with the list with the speaker. You can copy the speaker's or reader's technique while he or she reads the audio book. Learn to listen. Practice listening to native English speakers and try to understand the words and sentences they use. And finally, have patience. Remember that learning a new language takes time and practice. So be patient with yourself and don't get discouraged if you make mistakes. No one can learn any language in 3 months. It is a process, so you should follow this process. It's also important to note that fluency is not always a binary state. It's a gradual process, and you can improve your fluency through regular practice and exposure to the language. So, we finished Becoming a Good Speaker Part 2 today. And please follow our podcast calls. Coming soon, we will broadcast Becoming a Good Speaker Advanced Level. So, thank you for listening.